Well, what a game that was. As the Blazers just keep rolling. They cannot be stopped at the moment. The Suns were no match, not once, but twice here at Moda for the mighty Trail Blazers as they go and in game two against the Suns grab a 121-119 victory to win 8 of their last 9. Welcome in to Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here with you. If you want to join the conversation, Chris J. Burkhardt's the name on social. 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. And, of course, YouTube.com. Type in Rip City Radio. We'll pop right up. And Jason says, say his name and he appears. I believe in Chris Burkhardt. I appreciate that. I believe in Chris Burkhardt and Joe Hendry, so thank you. Now, the Blazers, holy smokes, that game that they played against the Suns was just it was unreal. It was absolutely unreal. The team had to go and weather every single punch that the Suns gave them. And I thought the way that they answered in this one was incredible. The Suns were going out there, and it's like I said in the pregame show, talking about a boxer. Like if you sit there, you go jab, 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 boom, knockout punch. You got to find that counter punch, and the Blazers had it in this one. Every single time, it looked like the Suns would make a run or they'd get a big shot. The Blazers would answer back, and that's exactly what they needed to do. The Blazers, it was 10-2 to start the game for Portland. Suns called an early timeout at the 9-minute mark. Portland was up 14-5 at that point, and then they just kept going. Ant made it 21-10 at that point. All 5 starters had a bucket, which was wonderful to see. But then the Suns, boom, quick 7-0 run. And next thing you know, it's 31-31 heading into the second quarter. Early in the second quarter, Grayson Allen hits a 3, and the Suns are up now. It's 40-36, and it's like, okay, now the Suns are starting to get it going. What's going on here? They led 55-49 at halftime. Oh, no, what's going on? Denny Avdija looked good, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Ayton looked good at half. But now the Blazers need to answer. And in the third quarter, the two just they kind of battled, right? That was where I thought it was punch, counter punch, punch, counter punch, punch, counter punch. And then in the last, minute and a half, it was Tumani 3, Anthony Simons 3. The Blazers outscored the Suns 37-25 in the third quarter to take an 86-80 lead into the fourth quarter. Now in the fourth quarter, we were watching the clock with anticipation. We were waiting for about the 5-minute mark to hit to see if there was going to be another big NBA trade. There was not, but there was good basketball. The Suns were able to force overtime, and then in overtime, you heard it right there. Booker ends up getting 3 shots at the free throw line because Denny fouls him in the corner as he goes to tie the game, and he fouls out, Denny does, and you're like, oh my gosh, Devin Booker, who on a night he set the Suns' all-time franchise scoring record. You're like, he's not going to miss. Well, guess what? He hit the first 2. He missed the third one. D.A. gets a huge rebound. He had a night, D.A., 25 points, 20 rebounds, a 20-20 game. Absolutely stellar. And then on the other end was hitting free throws for the team. Misses a late one. Suns have a chance, but Jeremy Grant comes up big. It was a Rip City winner, as Travis said, and you got to love it, right? You can't take anything away from the Trailblazers in that one. It's one of those things that you just love. Everybody's out there having some fun. Everybody's out there participating. Now, I know that we talked about it, about Scoot Henderson and Shaden Sharp and Donovan Clingan maybe not playing the allocation of minutes that you would have liked as a Blazer fan who want to see the young guys develop, but I also don't think that was necessarily a bad thing in the end, and there's reasons to that. It might have something to do with my Coors cold hard facts, but the thing is, I didn't think that their lack of minutes was a detriment to their progression. I still thought the minutes they played there were extremely good. And they probably would have played more, but there in that fourth quarter, coach just leaned on the lineup that was getting the job done. And then in overtime, that's what you do too. Now, I thought everyone played well. 6 players in double figures for your Portland Trail Blazers. And Shea only had 9 points, but he wasn't asked to do a ton. Again, we could talk about that just a little bit later. But I'll tell you this, man. The team is gelling. They're playing together. Accountability's been a word of the season, and I also think that the spirit inside the stadium is doing pretty good. I would call it active participation promotes individual success and sportsmanship spirit. Yeah, that's what I would call it. I just made that up on the fly. And I think it's because the team's participating, the team is playing, they're promoting the individuals on the team, right? Because DA's having good games, and Ant's having good games, and Two's playing great, and Denny's playing great. And then the spirit of 77 and the spirit of Moda is alive and well, right? So you love it. You absolutely love it. Also, that wasn't completely made up. That was an inside joke for all my college football dynasty friends out there. I love you guys. Now, back on track, though. What's not to love? I know that, again, the young guys didn't play the minutes you wanted, but 8 of 9? Sitting there having the best 9-game stretch that you've had in years as a Blazer fan. Years. Feels good. It feels real good. And the team is playing together. The team is playing for one another. I think that's been a common theme here. You know, when I talk about, promoting each other and participating, right? They're participating in the promotion of team ball right now. That's just great to see. DA is locked in. Of course, he said he's always been locked in. But there was also something here to take away from postgame, and this is when Tumani Kamara had a chance to talk to Travis after the game.
4 quarters. I'm going to keep saying every time, man. You know that when we put 4 quarters together, when we keep trusting the process and stick together, moving the ball, making the right plays, getting big stop defensively, rebounding has been an issue for us, so we've been locking in on that. And, I mean, that's how we game. That's how we win the game right here tonight, by getting rebounds and getting stops on defense.
You know, to see DeAndre do what he did tonight, his first 2020 game as a Blazer against his former team, against the team that drafted you. Just what did this one mean for everybody?
I think it's big, man. It's big. It keep on proving ourselves that it's not just a moment that we having. It's just us, like all the work that we've been putting in. It's not something. It's not a phase. You know what I'm saying? It's things that we actually could do for a long period of time, and we just got to keep on doing that and trusting that.
And that's the thing. It's not just a moment. It's not a phase. That's what I loved hearing from Tumani Kamara. He truly thinks this is something that they can continue to build on and play well with because this is who they are. And Coach talked about it post-game about how, a lot of the times when he says, hey, I liked what I saw from this team even though they lost, it's because there's minutes in the game where things weren't clicking, but for most of the game he really liked what he was seeing because the team was listening to what he wanted them to do. And over this stretch, all the things he's wanted them to do has been clicking for the entire game. Everyone's working as one. I think earlier in the season, that wasn't the case. Victor called in last night on the 5th quarter and was talking about, energy, mana, right? Well, the Blazers, their energy has shifted. For one, go back to the game against Memphis. Go back to the game against Utah. Those games were brutal. The energy in the building was non-existent. The energy on the bench was not there. The team was they looked lazy. They looked tired. They looked out of it. Coach didn't like their spirit. He didn't like their focus. The spirit's been there. The focus has been there. The intensity's been there. And it's leading to good ball. And I think the favorite part about that is that the good ball, a lot of that is happening on the defensive side. Tumani Kamara all over the place. Denny has been all over the place. DeAndre Ayton has been good. I actually thought, all things considered, that Anthony Simons had a good game defensively, considering he was getting switched and manned up against Kevin Durant for long stretches of the night. I love it. I love it. And we'll continue to break it down, but we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to head to the Coach's Corner, hear what Coach Billups has to say ahead of this game against the Pacers. This is Chris Burkhardt. This is Blazers Game Day presented by Coors Light on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Copy. We'll jump over here, talk to YouTube. Just let me know what? You're not. Oh man. Copy. Copy. What's Kirk say? I thought Ant's defense was great. They put Durant on him every play on switches, and they did. And Durant still got his. But I thought for a guy that we dog a lot in Ant, right, for not being great defensively, I thought he did a really good job. It wasn't stopping Durant by any means, right? But the fact that he was out there giving effort, which I think we've seen lack of on that side of the ball from people over the years, and from him at times, I thought it was so good to see him giving that effort, man. You got to like that. And like you said, Kling Kong needs work on that offense. Yeah, he got the ball down low at one point, had Devin Booker on him, and just he couldn't back him down, and just got lost. And next thing you know, takes a bad hook shot, doesn't even hit rim. It was nasty. But you're right, Kirk. I believe that too. He'll get stronger once he figures that part out. He'll be good. He'll be good. Offense is never going to be his calling card, but you want him to just be competent, right? And he's got work there to do right now. And we'll be right back. We'll be back on radio here in just a sec. Welcome back into Blazers Game Day. It is time for the Coach's Corner, waiting patiently for Coach Billups to get to the podium. As soon as he does, Shacker will pod that audio up, and we will take a listen, hear what he has to say ahead of this game against the Pacers, a Pacers team that is also playing pretty good basketball right now. They are winners of 4 straight, 6 of their last 7. So it's a hot team meets a hot team tonight. The Blazers, obviously, we know what they're doing. The Pacers, their last 4 wins, Spurs, Pistons, Hawks, Jazz. Let's take a listen to Coach.
Rob didn't go last night. Is it a plan for him to play tonight and Donovan not to?
Yeah. Coach, you guys have been forcing, I mean, obviously your defense has been much improved as of late. It feels like a lot of times you guys are, or it's consistently now you guys are forcing 24-second violations in games. And so I'm wondering if you could talk about what does that do for both your team in terms of kind of getting them excited and like charged up, and also kind of what does it do to the opponent when you have a 24-second call against you?
Yeah, I think I mean we've done a really good job of it. We try to focus on trying to get back and make teams play against our half-court defense. And when we're running around and helping and doing the things that we've been doing lately, we make it tough on people. And yeah, that's like such a big emotional play for us when you get a team they're moving the ball, and every place they move it, it's not open. To get a shot clock violation, that's a huge energy burst for us, and it's obviously deflating for them. We've done a ton of it, a lot lately. It's a big key for us tonight. You play this team, it's the first 8 seconds of the shot clock are the biggest part of the game for them. As fast as they try to play, push it, shoot, quick, you got to try to guard that first 8 seconds. So it'll come into play pretty big for us tonight.
Chauncey, how much are you telling your guys not to rest on their laurels? Right now it's 4 wins in a row and it's the second night of a back-to-back. Are you telling them to get greedy, or do you even have to give them that message?
Yeah, I don't even put that thought in their head, man. I just keep coaching and keep talking about what's important tonight. When that happens, if that ever happens, we'll talk about it then. But I don't think I need to do that. Our guys they're focused on trying to play the right way, and if and when we lose playing the right way, lose doing what we're supposed to be doing. So I haven't even had to do that.
You've talked numerous times about Denny, clearly, and about how he's doing things differently here than he had to do at Washington. What did you see in him, either in Washington or during the summer or whatever, that made you decide to put him in certain situations that maybe he wasn't doing in Washington?
Yeah, I seen, there was small sample sizes, to be honest, offensively, but just where he was just kind of handling in kind of chin action, high pick and roll action, making a lot of it. Or just when he was catching and going, driving closeouts and making a second play. I'll say there's more where that came from, So I seen a lot of little glimpses that I said we could use that, and I think he's a pretty good passer out of the post. We haven't explored that yet. I had a couple of ATOs where we got a lot of motion going and him on the block right there, but there's still other levels, that I'll get to with Denny in terms of offensively and then defensively. Just his versatility, being able to, guard multiple guys and be able. He's now kind of much better guarding up. When we play small ball, got him guarding some fives, but he does a good job of kind of guarding down as well. So what most people don't realize is how young Denny is, because he's been in the league for quite a while. He's still young, man. He's very, very young. So there's a lot of levels that I think he still can reach.
What about the coast-to-coast thing? Was that something you saw a lot of at Washington? I
did see some of that. I did see some of that at Washington, not to this extent, but guys like him, and I'm just telling them, when you're those kind of good rebounders, like you rebound, you run, that's your play. That's you the general now. You get it, you go, and if they don't catch up with you, shoot it.
Was he surprised when you gave him that green light, kind of, or did he?
Probably the first time that some coaches told him that, but you can see he's so good at it. He's one of the very best in the game at it.
So in your mind, it's like why outlet when he can?
Yeah, he's so fast. Obviously his name, reflects that with Turbo. But yeah, he's gonna beat everybody down the floor when he gets that ball. So I would rather guys turn around, sprint to those spots, and just get there, and let him kind of do it. So it's become his thing. He's just great at it.
Chauncey, is this a special game tonight, seeing as how Indiana's 11-2, since the start of the year. Top 5 both categories. I would say arguably the toughest, hottest opponent you've faced in this 9-game stretch. I mean, is this a litmus test for you? Or you looking forward to this game to see where you're
I'm looking forward to the game. I think there's been a ton of teams that we've played over this stretch that you could say you can gauge where you're at. You know, I know where we're at. You know, we're playing great. You know, right now, so are they. And I just think it's such a great, 2 of the hottest teams in the game, you know, playing against each other right now. 2 teams like kind of forcing people to play the way that they want them to play. One big difference I've seen in them is they're like us. They're picking guys up full court. They're being scrappy in the full court, you know, which is different than what they've used to doing. You know, they're mostly all offense. Well, they're playing defense too, and they're playing defense full court, and that's been a change for them. So I'm really looking forward. I think it's a great challenge for us. It's a really, really great challenge for us, to be honest with you. But I know where we're at, and I know, you know, what we've been able to do.
Coach, any thoughts on Scoot 2 being on the same team for the Rising Stars Challenge?
Yeah, I'm excited about that, man. I'm excited about that. Mitch did a good job in drafting that team.
Do you have any broader thoughts? Because it would seem to me that team is considerably better than the other teams.
Well, I mean, of course, I'm gonna say that with my guys on the team, but I haven't studied all of the teams, but they got some athletes on that team with the 2 twins and obviously Scoot 2 and Missy. I mean, it should be a lot of fun. I hope they can get through and be able to play on the big stage on Sunday. That'd be sweet.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Thanks, John.
And there you hear Coach Billups live at the press room there. Obviously a little hype. The NBA did release their rosters for the Rising Stars team, so 2 and Scoot getting to play together. That's kind of fun there. And also some high praise for Denny Avdia in that presser. And it is kind of cool to see that, you know, he's been used in that push tempo role, coming by that nickname Turbo, honestly, right? You love to see that. And I think he's been a big reason that this team has been able to find success in the long run here. And they've been so good on this, 9-10 game stretch. And he's been a major reason for that, and is going to be a major, building block for them moving forward. He's been absolutely incredible. He's been incredible. And another tidbit from that presser, if you missed it there, was that Klingon will not play. Robert will play Klingon's minutes tonight as they're staggering those 2 on the back-to-backs. We'll see how the minute allocation does tend to play out tonight, considering you look at the starting lineup last night. Jeremy played 41 minutes, 23 seconds. Tumani played 45 minutes and 6 seconds. D.A. played 42 minutes and 8 seconds. Denny played 43-30, and Anthony played 41-44. So there might be some tired legs. That's a lot of run from less than 24 hours ago, basically. I mean, yes, it was. It's just nasty stuff, right? Nasty. A little over 24 hours, but you get what I'm getting at there. Tired legs, baby. Tired legs. If you want to join the conversation here on Blazers Game Day, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. You can also go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and start the chat there as well. But, man, I'm excited. As you heard Kevin Claver ask that question about, is this kind of the litmus test here? Because the Pacers have been incredible. They've been winning games too, and they are extremely hot. And I was going down the schedule right before Chauncey spoke there. So if you missed it, their last 4 games, they blew out the Spurs 136-98. They took care of the Pistons 133-119. It was a close game against the Hawks, but they won 132-127. Then they got a 1-point win over the Utah Jazz. And then they did lose to the Spurs prior to that 4-game streak, which was a 30-point blowout, 140-110. But then they have wins over the Sixers, another win over the Pistons, and then on a back-to-back, a win-loss split over the Cavs, right? So, I mean, getting a win over the Cavs is no small potato. That's a darn good basketball team right now. So the Pacers, they have found ways to win. They won 6 in a row, lost to the Cavs, won 2 in a row, lost to the Spurs, and now they've won 4 in a row. So again, very, very good team right now. And the Blazers are going to be tested tonight. They've been doing it on both sides of the ball. The Pacers are a very good defensive team as well. So you're going to get defense versus defense tonight. And who comes out on top? I mean, if the Blazers win this game, man, then you really got to sit there and scratch your head a little bit as to what's going on here, because this run so far has been incredible. This is Blazers Game Day. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. And again, if you want to join the conversation, youtube.com. Chris J. Burkhardt's the name on social. And, of course, 503-248-0620. Is the telephone number. We're going to take a quick little break here, though. When we come back, we're going to give you our Coors cold hard facts. And this one's going to have to do with, again, the minutes allocation and some good things we're seeing here, even if the young guys aren't playing the amount of minutes you want. This is Blazers Game Day presented by Coors Light on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Alrighty. Oh man, my wife laughed at me. She's like, "The black looked good there for a second when I messed up." That's for the fifth quarter though, babe. That's for the fifth quarter. See, game day, the fifth quarter. We invert the colors a little bit. We have some fun with it. Gotta get a little disco going. We're having some fun. She also says my daughter yelled at the screen, "Dad, back. Hi, Tegan. Hi, Tegan." Dad says hi. Hi. See, this is what we do during YouTube commercial breaks. Talk about college football. Say hi to your daughters. Shout out the wife. Have some fun. You know. What's going on in the chat here? Timmy Hammock says I'm not that old. He wanted me to go guard Tyrese Halliburton. I said I blew out my Achilles just thinking about guarding an NBA player. I might not be that old, but my body is that tight. I'm gonna have to stretch for a month if I wanted to go play an NBA game. Does your wife know Southern Miss owns college football? No. But she knows that Houston's putting in work because she's like, I saw that Captain Chaos streamed last night. It's like, yeah, because these fools don't trust me. What was that? Thank you. But, no, she doesn't know. She doesn't know that you ruled college 25. Nor does she care. She's a fan of Houston right now because that's who I'm rocking with. Unwavering support. Unwavering support. Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be a fun game tonight, guys. What? What's that? Yeah? I don't think so, because I think Madden's kind of nasty. It's not very fun. College football is way better, in my opinion. There you go. Oh, yeah? Well, I think Houston is like 4 wins away from 10. Okay? So you just chill, Timmy Hammock. Oh, you guys are taking over the chat with college football. You need to get back on the Blazer talk. For those of you just tuning in, we're in a commercial break right now. That's why we're just low-key. You're like, why is he not talking about Blazers? Commercial breaks. We just relax. We have some fun. Anyway, we'll take a break. We'll be back in here in just a second. Bye. Bye, Tegan. I'll be back in a second. Also, I didn't call you out, babe. I love you. Welcome back into Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here with you. You can follow me on social over at Chris J. Burkhardt. You can also join the conversation over on YouTube or at 503-248-0620. It is time now for our Coors Cold Hard Facts. And you know what, man? This team, what's not to love right now? I understand that I asked that question to some people. I did after the game. And the answer was, what's not to love? I don't love the fact that Scoot only played 20 minutes and Shaedon Sharpe only played about 20 minutes and Donovan Clingan only played 10, and they relied on the vets to win the game. Well, I counterpunch, just like the Blazers did, counterpunched everything the Suns gave them. With that, I don't necessarily think in this particular game it was a bad thing, right? I don't think it was a bad thing. And the reason I don't think it was a bad thing is because I look at what Scoot did. I still thought Scoot had an incredibly effective game. He had 15 points, 6 assists, did have 2 turnovers, a couple rebounds. Shaedon Sharpe didn't shoot the ball incredibly well, but he did make some big shots, right? Had a couple of assists. Defense was all right. Coach didn't really like everything he was given. That's why he ended up coming out. And Donovan Clingan only played, 9 minutes. But at the same time, Donovan Clingan was struggling quite a bit at times. Defensively, we know what he can be, right? But offensively, he was struggling. He needs to get some run, and he didn't get it in this one because I think the Blazers were looking for a win, and they had guys who were playing extremely well. And so you don't necessarily take them out just to get DC a run. Now, I know you're like, come on, though, Chris, because you've talked about all that you wanted to see Clingan out there, even if he is making mistakes. And I have said that. I absolutely have. Call me out on it. It's fair. But the difference to me was I was saying that is if you're going out there and the team is playing terribly and you're losing a game by 30, and then I look down at the box score and Donovan Clingan only has 12 minutes played, that's frustrating. You're down big. Get him out there. Let him go. Okay, in a game like this, though, where you're trying to get the win, it was clear they were trying to get the win. He's not necessarily the best option for that, right? And so some people are mad because they went and got the win. I'm not. I like what's going on here. I like the fact that they've won 8 of their last 9. I like the fact that what we're seeing is competent basketball. You heard Coach Billups say it there in the press conference a second ago about like if if and when we lose on this little streak we're going on, at least you lose the right way. That's what matters, and that's what we're seeing. And I do think in the long run Clingan will be just fine. I think that if the team is playing well and you truly believe that winning these games is the better thing to do, then you're absolutely okay to slow play Donovan Clingan a little bit. Now, I would still like to find ways to get Clingan and Sharpe some more minutes in the long run, maybe get them back into the starting lineup. That would be wonderful. And then you have, little less than 48 hours now to maybe do that, right? I'm talking about the trade deadline. But Donovan Clingan, there's still a lot of work to be done. And in case in point, I was talking about it earlier with Kirk because Kirk chimed in on the chat and said that he needs work on his offense, right? Donovan Clingan does. And he had a point in that game against the Suns last night where he got the ball down low against Devin Booker, a massive mismatch. He has 6 inches and 80 pounds on D-Book. First thing you do is you notice that mismatch, you get the ball, it's back to the basket, back, layup, dunk, whatever it is, because you're already right there in the paint. Easy money, right? But instead, what he did was he tried to kind of make a move to try to go around D-Book. D-Book saw it, stopped it. Plumlee came over to help for a second. As soon as Plumlee came, Clingan panicked, and ball's on the ground and then right back up, and now he's pivoting on one foot, has nowhere to go, throws up a little hook shot that doesn't even hit rim. You should absolutely get a point in that situation when you have Devin Booker down low, deep in the paint, and you got 6 inches and 80 pounds on him, right? And that's the offensive part of the game that he needs to refine. Now, you're seeing other things that he's starting to do better because early in the season it was very, very evident. He liked to grab the ball and instantly bring the ball down. Get the ball knocked out of his hand, get a turnover. Now he's keeping the ball up and waiting. Okay, now he's resetting. So he'll learn. But in that particular game with how good Phoenix is, if you leave him out there too long, they're going to take the L. And it was just clear that that's not what Coach wanted to do. And I don't necessarily hate that. And in fact, as much as I do like Donovan Clingan, I'd sit here and look at the way the team's playing right now. If this is the DA that you're unlocking, keep him. Keep him. He's got good chemistry with Scoot. He likes playing with Tu and Denny, and you can tell. They all got good chemistry with each other. And maybe you've got a good DA here now. Okay? I'm not saying you go trade DA and Robert Williams just to open up the door for Klingon right now at this moment. But, again, on the other side, you got to play both sides, because if you truly want to go develop route, then yes. If you want to go develop route, that's what you have to do. Open up doors, let these guys play. But if you truly think trying to win these games is the best bet, that's what you saw against the Suns. And I am of the firm belief, right? And Kirk says in the chat, I'm dreaming of big playoffs or bust. I am of the belief that, you know what, if you sit here and you put your best foot forward and you guys you lump into the luck into the play-in, people will be excited. Be good basketball. You'll be having fun, right? But you're also, at the end of the day, kind of fully entrenched in this tank, because you're sitting there in the lottery right now. Even with these 8 of 9 wins, you're sitting there at 9th right now. You could lose a couple, fall back. I mean, to realistically get into the playoff race, you're going to have to bust off another 8 and 9 right now. Starting tonight. Say if today's game 0, right, or game 1, you got to win 8 of your next 9, and then you can start realistically like, wow. At that point, you got 20 games left. Can we get into the play-in? But right now, you're going to find how long this thing can go, and you're still going to end up at the 8, 9, 7, 6 spot. You're going to end up somewhere in there, and you're still going to have, again, your odds of getting a pick and all that stuff. The whole idea of tanking for Cooper Flag, I think that ended a long time ago. Because nobody is catching up to Washington, who is sitting now. They've won 2 of their last 8 to improve to 8-41. 8-41. Portland would have to lose 13 more games than them down the stretch. That's not happening. Utah's right there at 11-32. New Orleans and Charlotte both at 12 and 30 something, right? 38 and 35 respectively. 16 and 33 for Toronto. And then you got Portland, who's now at 21 and 29. Things are looking up for them. I'm just not of the mindset that I'm just completely upset that they're playing well right now and the basketball's fun. I enjoy it. You enjoy it. Most fans tend to enjoy it. And the whole Scoot Shea thing, I think it's just one game. You look at the minutes breakdown. They usually get their minutes in. They usually get good runs. Scoot's had incredible games off the bench. In that first game against Phoenix, I believe it was a 15.9 assist performance. He loved it. And in the second game, he leaned on the vets just a little bit more. But it's not, to me, it's not as if it's like, okay, Scoot's only playing 19 minutes a night every single night. You can go look through the last few games. He's had the games where he's getting 30+. He's had games like the one just the other last night where he got 24. Right? Shea, same thing. So to me, it was more of a one-off. It was a one-time thing. Now, back to the guys who were playing good in that game, though. DA was one of them. And I want to point out, when I say about, like, hey, maybe it's worth keeping him at this point, I still think he's the hardest contract to move between him, Jeremy, and Ant, which means by the trade deadline, he'll probably be the only one moved. That's how it always works. It's like Portland, right? Is it going to snow tonight? Well, if they say no, that means it probably will, right? But DA got a second to catch up with Brooke after the game. And again, just like a lot of the things he does, I liked what he said here.
That's what we do. I mean, I can't even say it enough. The fans really gave us the energy tonight and just got us amped up. We even came out a little slow, but the fans made sure we stayed on our A game, and I just love it. My teammates had my back, talking to me all night. I keep telling you, Brooke, I love it here.
I keep telling you, Brooke, I love it here. And he's coming into his own. He likes it here. He's having a good time. He's letting his personality show, and now he's letting his game do the talking. And that's wonderful to see. It's absolutely wonderful to see. And he has been one who's been big on the accountability and the team talking to each other, and that's how they're getting these good games from one another. And that's something he said in the post-game presser again.
The way how we can just control ourselves, we wasn't too amped up, too speedy. We were talking. It was an emotional game. I seen guys communicate to each other, DC, everybody just talking. And, it helps so much. And our coaches letting us, they guiding us with the terminology, but they letting us have at it, whether it's holding each other accountable or really just hyping each other up. And that's where we were at. And, talking defenses out and saying who we want to attack, what we want to do, how we're going to box it and close out these possessions.
Yeah, The communication's there. The team's playing for one another. They're enjoying each other's presence. Case in point, Coach was asked at the presser if he saw Dwap's game winner down there at Chiles Center for the Rip City Remix, right? He's like, did I see it? Shot hadn't even barely gone through the net, and I was already on the court. We played a game on Saturday. We looked at the schedule, saw that there was a Rip City Remix game on Sunday, and that Dwap and Jabari and Ryan were all there, and, the team showed up. We wanted to go support our guys. That kind of speaks to the culture and things that are going on. And I get you, hey, maybe it took a little too long to get here, but you're here. And that's why, even though you look at the numbers and they didn't play the minutes you wanted the other night, I think it's okay to just kind of get lost in the moment, because it's a pretty cool moment going on right now here in Rip City. All right, we're going to take a break, though. When we come back, it's time for our keys to the game. What do the Blazers have to do to get a win over the red-hot Indiana Pacers? It's the red-hot Blazers versus the red-hot Pacers. It's all going to go down right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Copy. Welcome back into Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here with you. Shout out to Kirk in the YouTube chat because he gets what I'm laying down. He says I was 100% tank, but I'm okay with getting, say, a top 10 pick and using assets to improve over the summer at this point. The young guys are playing winning basketball. It's huge. Anyone can put up stats playing losing basketball. That's it's right in line with what I'm saying, Kirk. The fact that the team's playing well, I enjoy that. I absolutely enjoy that. And yes, Grant and Da and Ant had big games, but so did Denny Avdia, and so did Tumani Kamara. And Scoot looks good off the bench. That's good. I like that. I think they're going in the right direction. Now, time for our keys to the game. What do the Blazers have to do to keep this young team playing hot basketball and maybe get another W against a Pacers team that, as we already pointed out, has been on fire, also on a 4-game win streak? Well, I think this one is going to come down 100% to, can the Blazers defense continue to shut good offenses down, right? Now, they didn't necessarily shut down Phoenix, but they made the plays when they needed to, and that was big. And I thought Tumani Kamara, sometimes you play a team and you play as well as you can, and the other team just hits buckets, man. And I do feel bad for Tumani because whether it's SGA or Devin Booker or Kevin Durant, right, or Giannis, sometimes he plays perfect defense and the shot just goes in. That's going to happen. But you're going to have to find ways to get stops tonight. You're playing an Indiana team that is top 10 in points scored, 9th overall in the league at 116, and you're also a team that is in the top third of the league in assists per game at 28.7. So they move the ball well, they score a lot, and then they're also top 10 in the league when it comes to not turning the ball over. They only turn the ball over 13.6 times per game. Right, so now if you're the Blazers, what you need to do is continue what you've been doing on this recent hot streak. It's force those turnovers. Force the team off of their strength offensively, which is that ball control. And if you do that, you're going to put yourself in a good spot. Now, they forced 14 turnovers against the Suns, and again, it was really good defense. I mean, I wrote it down here. You take into account the last 3 games, 2 games against the Sun and that one against the Magic. The Blazers have forced 5 24-second shot clock violations. 5. That's good defense. Absolutely good defense. And in that Suns game last night, they forced 1 24-second shot clock violation, but there was multiple shots that they had that, thank you. I'm getting Rip City Radio shout-outs from the 50-50 raffle crew. I love it. But in that game against the Suns, not only were they forcing that 1 24-second shot clock violation, multiple times the Suns were taking their shot right at the end of the game, or shot clock, right at the end of the clock. 1 second on the clock. You see the lights go off. It was right there, shot clock violation. They get the shot up, right? So they were forcing Phoenix to take those shots late in the set. And I like that. That's incredible defense from the Blazers because it was taking the Suns time to find the open shot they wanted. And again, you watch the Magic game when they forced those shot clock violations. It was incredible because you're like, it's almost like they didn't even know that the shot clock was going down. The Blazers were just so on them and forcing them to work hard, right? So that's what the Blazers need to do tonight in this one. I think usually it's keys to the game. Oh, they need to do this. I want them to rebound. I want them to – no, it's all going to be about defense. It's all going to be about, can you knock the Indiana Pacers off of their offensive game? Because if you can do that, then I think that can lead to some runs for you and an ability to get out to a lead and an ability to continue this hot streak. It's going to be tough, though, because, again, this Pacers team is playing incredibly well. Incredibly well. If you look at that win that they had against Utah in their last game, which I believe was last night, also they went out there. Pascal Siakam had 22 points. Tyrese Halliburton had 18. No one else went crazy, right? No one else went crazy, but they only turned the ball over 9 times. Now, had Utah really forced the issue, might have had a few more turnovers. All right, that's going to do it for Blazers Game Day. We're going to get out of here, but don't go anywhere because coming up across the Trailblazers Audio Network, Chad Dewing will have your Blazers pregame show. Tip-off at 7 o'clock. Travis Demers on the call right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. And as always, keep it locked in, because when it's all said and done, we'll be right back here with the 5th quarter, where hopefully we're breaking down another Trailblazers victory. Rip City, I'll talk to you after the game.